10 minutes after 11 o'clock here on ENCA this Sunday morning. I'm Gareth Edwards. Good to be with you. It's an important story for Cape Town. The organisation Undoing Tax Abuse, you'll know it as OUTA if you prefer the acronym, wants a meeting with the City of Cape Town to tackle the sewage pollution crisis within the Diep River and Milnerton Lagoon. There's also a looming court showdown between the city and Milnerton residents over the sewage stench. The city has said the plant is not the primary cause of the pollution, and it attributed to various other sources of pollution. Well, Julius Kleinhans, you're from OUTA. You're joining me now. I imagine you don't agree with the city. Good morning.
Thank you, Gareth. Yes, you know, there's a variety of issues that pertain to the sewage contamination in the lagoon. However, the Potsdam sewage wastewater treatment works is definitely one of the main contributors. So the city cannot deny this. We've seen a variety of other stormwater infrastructure, sewage pumps, that is infrastructure obviously of the city, that's also polluting. And then you also see places like Joe Slovo, who doesn't have proper sanitation infrastructure. That is a major cause. But yeah, the main one is Potsdam, and that is completely in their hands to mitigate.
The problem, it seems, though, is various requests by OUTA and residents, according to the statement I have from your organisation, is the city simply thinks it's not that important, and they're not even responding to your calls to make a change.
Absolutely, Gareth. We've actually reached out to them. We've sent this letter of demand. However, the community members from a variety of communities has actually been reaching out to the city for over 5 years now. And the city has made a lot of promises. They've even budgeted for some of these upgrades and, to address the issues. However, we haven't seen significant difference. Community members, in fact, say that some of these budgeted programs haven't even been adhered. So I think, you know what, this is not just in the city of Cape Town, it's an issue across the country. However, at the end of the day, your city is accountable for that, and pollution is a criminal offence.
What about approaching one of the government departments, the Department of Sanitation and Health or the Department of Water and Sanitation? Has that avenue been explored?
No, well, we've already engaged with the province, with the Department of Environmental Affairs. There, in fact, I think it's the Green Scorpions, right? They've actually reached out to us now and asked us to take water samples together. They are of the belief that it's not necessary to duplicate things, but you know what, Gareth, what we found is when the community members go hand in hand with the city or with other officials sometimes to go take water samples, then it's easy to try and clean the water before people get there, which ends in positive results. However, it doesn't really speak what is really going on. So we are engaging hopefully in the week by Thursday with the Green Scorpions regarding the matter. But first of all, we needed to reach out to the culprit, which is the city, and give them an opportunity to respond.
What are the solutions to this particular problem? Because, as we'll know, anything environmental-based is obviously going to have some kind of interim plan, but it's certainly not going to be fixed by tomorrow, Julius. What is the timeline for this, and what do you, as OUTA, suggest the solutions are to this problem?
You see, first of all, I think the city has spoken about a plan in 3 to 5 years to fix the problem, and that's not good enough. I think, if you just look at the main resource, the main source of pollution, the Potsdam wastewater treatment works, there's already a lot of upgrades that one can do, and you don't have to wait for 3 or 4 years worth of budget for that. I think they need to start looking at alternatives. This is quite significant, and the hazardous risk it pertains to health in the people in the community. It's quite a big issue as well, which calls for emergency kind of endeavours to get back on tenders and to actually issue these, make money available, fix it quicker. But one of the major concerns as well is the city has expanded quite significantly over the last years, and they haven't kept up with infrastructure. And, it's time to take a step back and just get above, or, the supply and demand up to ratio again. Because, it doesn't help you to just expand and build more houses and get more community members in if you cannot cater for their needs. And that is quite a big... So we've seen town planning fall far behind. We've seen a massive expansion. But, at the end of the day, it is these kind of things that fall behind. And the repercussions of that is quite significant. We don't want to see the marine protected area being contaminated and all these ecological species and the ecosystem falling to the ground with it, because that plays a major role.
Yeah, it certainly does. Julius Kleinans from OUTA, I'm going to say thank you very much indeed for taking time to speak to us this morning, coming out of Cape Town, talking about the sewage pollution crisis within Diep River and Milnerton Lagoon. There was OUTA speaking to us here on ENCA.